Now it's working a lot better. And don't know what happened there a few minutes ago. Wouldn't come on for me. And everything's buzzing at me now. And yeah, so today is Friday. I hope everyone's doing well and getting sorted out and ready for Christmas. I'm nearly there, thank God, because the shops are getting crazy. So yeah, I'm going to turn this down. Sorry. Now, I always forget that I have it on that. So sometimes when I'm trying to find out, people tell me we've been ringing you for days, and I've forgotten to turn it back off. Do not disturb. Yeah, it's been a funny week this week. Hold on. So that's him gone, bringing me up voice. I don't know where to start this week. I always have the issue with the tarot cards and the angel cards, and now I'm realizing people don't even know the difference between the two. So I think I'll start there. Okay. There's a big difference between the two. There's actually lots of differences between the different cards. And yet again, I will reiterate that these are not things to be messed around with, and it's okay, it can be entertainment and everything like that, but I wouldn't be messing around too much with the divinity tools. Also depending on which ones you use. If you use the fairies, they will definitely, if you mess around with them and if you don't go by the card rules, they can really cause havoc on your life. Right, so the difference is, okay, first of all, I'll show you the difference. I have lots of cards. I'll just take out a few different types to explain the difference. So the tarot, which I always keep wrapped up in silk, because I don't know. There is actually a reason why, but you need to wrap them up and keep them safe. These are the strongest divinity cards, the tarot cards. There's there's just like the ordinary deck of cards, and then there's the major arnicas. So there's the arnicas and the major arnicas. The arnicas would be your wands, cups, swords, and fire for the 4 elements. And then your major arnicas are your the tower, death, and other cards like that. So you have 52 cards in the ordinary arnica, and in the major arnica it must be 20, because there's about 70, I think maybe 74 cards in a deck altogether. I haven't counted them in like 20 years or so. So I think there's 74 cards altogether. So that means there's 52 cards in your ordinary deck, and there's 22 in your major arnica. So the reason I have this particular wrap is because I'll try and open it up. See, here's me Christmas presents. Sorry. Sorry. So is that right way up? Yes, okay. So that's the right way up. So that's called the Celtic Cross. I hope you can see it there. So there's if you just take a look at the card, at the placement of the cards, it'll show you. I'll just put it in front of me there for a minute so you can see it. So the placement of the cards is in the middle, you have 1 and 1 crossed on top of it. That means your issue first, and then the solution underneath it, what should happen underneath it, or the best outcome will be over it. Actually, the getting confused and nervous now. The issue is the bottom card. The card that's over it in an X or a cross sign is the solution. Then your past, what would have happened in the past, or what it's connected to in your past, is the one to your right. Future is the one to your left. Top and bottom are just basic answers. And then your 4 down the side, which is actually the way you're going to go, is what you're going to do. So you're given your solution, you're given your problem, you're given your solution, what you would have done in the past, what you should do. Hi, Shmeda. What you should do in the future, and the 4 sides are what you're actually going to go with and your outcome. I don't really do tarot very often anymore, because they can, especially in this time in the last 2 years, people don't want to be getting bad news. They don't want to be hearing news that a tarot can give, because they're pretty specific. They're a very, very specific deck, and they won't flower what they want to tell you. If there's something in your future that you need to hear, you're going to hear it at this point, and just straight in your face. It's not going to be an easy one at all. So for the last 2 years, I haven't touched my tarot cards. Well, I have touched them, like I cleansing them and stuff, but I haven't actually done a reading for a good 18 months with the tarot, because of what may come out of them. I leave them in my drawer wrapped in their silk, and just every so often I'll just take them out. You have to give. You can't just go and buy a deck of cards. You should be given your deck first of all. And I apologize, Shmeda, Christmas presents here that need to be wrapped and boxed. That's actually a blanket that I put on for myself in that chair. That's my comfy chair if I want to go and watch a movie or read a book. That's a comfy chair. And Christmas presents there. That's not them all, by the way. It's not like I bought a little few Christmas presents. It's all down in the sea. And there's some rocking around the house until I get them wrapped and the tree put up, even though my own Christmas tree is, where is it? It's there. I told you. Okay, I better do them. I told you leave that pumpkin there. You never know what's in it. Right. Oh, God. Okay. I can't even reach down to get them. Now, I think for some reason I need to read these. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they hopped out. But I will read them. That's another thing. When you're reading cards, you don't pull a card. The deck pulls the card, unless it's a reading for someone else, and then they'll pull the card. What should happen is exactly what happened to me there a moment ago. They'll just pop out or they'll fly out, and that's the cards that Spirit are bringing to you to read, because it's like Spirit boxes. I need to do these cards have me stumped now. A crystal and a pendulum. Just like the crystal pendulum spirit box, I have crystal pendulums here as well, and I will do them, and I will show how to do them. You don't manipulate it. It tells you. So if you're holding a pendulum, you do not kind of shake to try and get your hand to move. You do not do that. You hold it steady and it will move. The pendulum will move in the direction it needs to. Usually for me, yes is forward and back, forward and back. And if it's a definite no, it will go around in a circle. There's no left or right. It's circular or forward and back. And you hold it steady as a rock. And what we used to use years ago, before crystal shops and stuff came, I don't know why I'm still holding my imaginary pendulum, before the cards go all wonky. That is actually very true. Very true. What was I saying? I was talking about the pendulum. I've a stack of cards now, they're all going to follow me. Yeah, they'll I can't remember where I was with the pendulum, but they will tell you where to go. Now, tarot cards. Another difference between the tarot and the angel cards and the Akashic cards and the Oracle Goddess cards are, if they come out upside down with any of those other tools, it still means the same thing. With the tarot, if they come out upside down, they mean the opposite. So if they meant one thing, they mean the opposite if it's upside down. So anyway, we'll get on with Shmeda. You have the Queen of Wands upside down. So this would be a male, possibly a fire sign. When he is tame, no, I'll show you it. Can you see that? So that's how it came out. So when he's tame and then he's in a good humor and mood, he's quite enjoyable. He's quite charming and pleasant man. But if he's rose or risen, that's med angry, he can become very fiery. Very angry person, can happen in a blink of an eye. Also, I'm getting a bit of Leo in this, so that's the end of July, start of August. There would have been a bit of a conflict, or there would have been something that would have happened around them that should be happening now, and there's conflict around it. But don't let the person, you know, that charmed you and sweet talked his way around you to become fiery and a bit angry, because there's no need. He shouldn't be angry. He's not the one that should be angry. Hi, Jen Lou. 6 of Pentacles is your solution, right? 6 of Pentacles is your solution. And that is, you're the one holding the money. You're the one that should be getting the money. But it looks like you're going to have to do the begging, which is a bit of a pain in the patoobies, because, like, why should you beg for money that somebody is holding? But that looks like how you're going to do it. Let me see the card again. There's something showing me. Oh, there's actually a bull in there that I have never, in all my 25 years doing these tarot cards, have I ever seen a bull in this card. But the bull is actually there. So the bull is the Taurus. This mightn't actually be even, the solution for this mightn't even be rectified until the end of March, early April. That's a long time to be fighting and arguing over who and what needs money and who and what deserves money. To me, that seems like a long time, but we'll see what the next card says. In the past, you wouldn't have been the type of person to fight this fight. You would have let it go, or this man would have let it go. They'd say it's only a few whatevers. Hi, Team Psych Ward. It's only a few bits of bob. We won't worry about it. But this is because in the past he would have said, "She let it go, and it wasn't that much anyway, and forget about it." But in the future, if he goes like that, the 5 of Pentacles, he will be needing money in the future. So if he lets it go and lets it get away with him, he will be the one down the money, and that eventually he will need, and he will get it. It's going to take a long time, until March, April, but until then, it's going to be kind of a struggle, a bit of a struggle. And he will realize that this is quite an amount, and that what you could do with it if it was sorted out and given back. Do you know? 7 of Swords upside down. 7 of Swords. The Swords cards would be anguish, annoyance, upset, driving your head mad over this issue. Just let it go, because the card is upside down, so it is telling you to just wait it out. Things will be different. It will be better. The ring light does my head in, because I don't know if you can see the cards properly or not, but that's the 7 of Swords. Now, if that was upright like that, you would be going into the dark blindness, or blindly, and you would be causing yourself all sorts of heartache and problems and issues. But it's upside down, so you're walking past it. You've just passed the darkness, so just wait until it's sorted out and proper. Kind of, yeah. Ace of Cups. Now, we are actually, I think, are we still, what date is today? The 19th. I think we could be past Scorpio. But we have an Ace of Cups, which is a love card, and cups are all emotions and things like that. And when it's ace, it's a young person. So there's some young person that their emotions are they're not being met. I think you know this person as well. It's not immediate to you, but you know this person, and the needs aren't being met. They're not being shown as much care and attention as they used to be, and it will be annoying you. It will play out on you and mess with your head a little bit. I'm feeling it's a teenager within your close knit, but not immediate, if that makes sense. Because upside down, she would be happy and having all the love and support and everything, but upside down, she's not getting that. Temperance is right side up. So actually, if you went and talked to this person and then talked to the parents, you'd actually realize that there is give and take, but it's just temperance is. Can you see it? I'll see. Can I blow it up to the? Look at that. Temperance is give and take. So you're given from one cup to the other, and it's there is give and take within the family, but I think it's more hormonal. The young girl is. She could be of that age of a teenager, and there is give and take, but she doesn't see it. She sees it as, kind of mom and dad are being a little bit poopy to me. I'm also seeing the rainbow on the bottom as well as the top. So she's stuck in the middle of the bottom rainbow when she should actually be enjoying her life and out having fun. November 22nd. So we are still in Scorpio. So yeah, this is actually happening right now. Ace of Pentacles. You're getting the money back. He will give up. That's a merman. That's a merman with no blue face. If you want to see what one looks like, that's a merman. What else am I seeing there? The fruits of your labor, the fruits of everything that will come. You're getting your money back. He doesn't look too happy about it either. So it's not like it's going to be given willingly. It will be a fight and an argument, and as I said, try and keep your cool, but it will sort itself out. All right. And that's from the merman. Oh Lord, such a man to come out, huh? So that's the tarot cards. That's the tarot deck. 52 of your ordinary arnica, which is pretty much the same as your deck of cards. You have your diamonds, hearts, clubs, and spades, and you have your wands, swords, cups, and fire for your elements. And then your major arnicas are the big ones, the death and the tower and stuff. So that's them. So I've just shuffled them now to get that energy off them, and they will go back into their silk where they have lived for many, many years right now. And I'll show you another deck, because I don't know, Jen, if you got this at the start, but I'm trying to show people the differences between the decks and what should be done between the decks, that they're all different, all of them. Now, I haven't... Jared bought me this deck last year, and I've looked at them and I've messed around with them, and I haven't done much with them because they're too pretty. They're just too pretty and I don't want them destroyed. But the Akashic cards, can you see that? I'll probably bring it up further. The Akashic cards. So what these do, where the tarot will tell your past and your future, the Akashic cards will tell you what your life purpose is on earth, what you signed up for with the Akashic records before you were born. So these records are kept in heaven or wherever your belief is. You write down give a soul record before you're born of what you want to do and what you want to face, and that's why we all come back as different entities. You could come back as a woman all your lifetimes, or you could come back as a woman, a man, a child, and you'll face different issues, different outcomes, and that's basically your Akashic records. You signed up to be a woman who goes through domestic abuse. Just so as you learn, you have to learn empathy towards these different things that go on down in the earth plane, because in heaven, and hold on. I'm starting to hear things. Sorry. I don't want to talk to spirit today. I want to try and explain the different cards and how you're supposed to do them while wearing nice makeup. I do makeup tutorial tomorrow. So, you could write down, I want to be a female who's well off, many divorces, no children, who's a humanitarian. You could write that down, and that is what will happen to you on earth. They're the lessons you will learn: what it is to be a female if you've been a male before, what it is to be rich if you've been poor before, if you've had a lot of children before, what it's like to have no children. That's what your Akashic records are. So these cards, the Akashic Tarot, you have the same deck. It's the same deck. You have your major and your minor arnicas. You have the same 72 cards, 74, 72 cards. It's done the same, but you have to tell your client or whoever it is that you're reading for, which would be your client or someone on the internet. These cards are telling you what you signed up for in the past, and I'll just pull out a few cards. They're so pretty. The artistry in them are just so pretty and so detailed. And commitments, what you've committed to in your Akashic records to go through on this lifetime. And that's what your Akashic record would look like in heaven. A record like you'd get from solicitors or stuff that you'd have to sign the bottom of. I did Shmita's cards. Yes, you did. You lived in rubble for your years, so you decided you wanted to live in it. You want a card. Okay. Let me see. There's some that are so Oh, I like this one. Yeah, I'll do a card for you, Team Psych Ward. Just a second. Just a second. Clearing the way. That's quite pretty. So clearing the way would be you'd have to you'd want to change. See, sometimes you want to change what your life records were. So you'd have to make changes to your life, realize that you're on the wrong path and change the way you've gone, like a fork in the road, say. So you're clearing the path to the life that you want, or the path is being cleared for you. So a lot of the time the path is being cleared for you and you don't realize it. What I always say is, if when I went for job interviews, etc., I'd say, this job, Lord, or better. And even for other people, I do that. This job or better, Lord. This job or better, or this loan or better. This whatever it is you're looking for or better. Because I'll do an angel card for your Team Psych Ward. Oh, this deck. Oh. Okay, I'll do one with this deck. Okay. Where was I saying? What was I saying? I can't remember. My memory, honest to God, it's actually getting worse. I'm going for a brain scan tomorrow. Probably shouldn't really be saying that on YouTube. You do love the angels, I know you do. They'll never put you wrong either. These are all sticking. They're not like, oh, because I'm not thinking of someone. Hold on. Okay. Visualizing Team Psych Ward. It won't happen. It's not happening, Jen. I can't. It's not letting me. You'll evolve the decks. Yeah. I don't have unicorns. I don't have fairies, which is really weird because you'd imagine they'd be the first ones I'd have. Oh, my heart. The glass is full of ice. And the ice started spinning. I caught it with that corner of my eye. I thought the whole glass was going to go. Yeah, I don't have them. And yeah, I'm a unicorn. That's what she calls herself. She calls herself, I'm a unicorn. What's your name? Una. What are you? A unicorn. Jen, this isn't working for Team Psych Ward. Not a chance. Look, that's too much. Like, there's not one coming out. No, that wasn't right either. I'll shuffle one more time. Well, 2 or 3 more times maybe. But there's definitely not a card coming out of that for Team Psych Ward. So I don't know what your past was, Team Psych Ward. I don't know what you agreed to up in heaven. Possibly it's private and the angels don't want it, or the angels and spirit don't want it to come out down here on live. I will do the angel cards for you though. That's those cards. That's the difference between those cards and tarot cards. Now the goddesses. These are quite pretty too, actually. That's your goddess oracle cards. That ring light does my head in. Those pictures are quite pretty too. And But you have to really know the mythology behind all the goddesses, like the goddess Diana, and all the Greek mythology, the Roman mythology, the different deities that are out there. Mary, our mother, Mary Magdalene, all of those spirit goddesses that are out there. So that's them. So that also comes with a book. Throw your book away. I never go to a book. I think I've only ever went to a book once or twice, where it would have been a new deck and I was kind of questioning myself. Now this is an awful lot smaller deck as well. There's only, because it's the goddesses, and there's not that many goddesses. That's why you're not getting a past card. That's why you're not getting a past card, because there is stuff that's not meant to be known down here, and especially not on YouTube. So the goddess cards are who you should be and who you are like on the earth plane. Some people say that it's actually who you have been in a past life. You can take that as whatever. Like Shemi has come out at the end, which is an Indian card. It's been a long time since I've done these, so I'm not sure what. I know she's an Indian goddess. So I'm not really sure. But what do I see on her? Lotus flowers. So what I'm seeing with her is she would have been, she was more, oh God, what's the word? More inclined to be around water, meditating, because the flower is the meditation flower. That's why you get into the lotus position when you're meditating. But there is water. Is she goddess of water? She possibly is. There's also sun coming out, sun rays coming out from behind her, and there's coins coming from her giver hand. So that to me depicts she would have been very kind, very generous, and she would give you abundance. That's an abundance of coins coming from her given hand. You give with your right and you receive. That's the opposite way. You get with your right, okay, and you give with your left. So she's given money, given coins into the water. So there's an abundance of money around her. So if you were ever to worry about money, have money worries, think of this woman, and her powers and her abilities would be given to you, or that's the type of person you should be. You should be more of a giver than a taker. Now, the book is huge. Well, for so little cards, the book is huge. And there's an awful lot more meanings into them. But for now, I'll just get to the basic. Jen. Oh, it's really pretty. Hold on, I'm doing Jen Lu now. The great goddess. She has Roman, kind of Roman buildings around her. So and a map. Roman buildings, a map, and a moon. Words. It's definitely Roman because of the brickwork, well, the stonework. What is the map for? I think it's, to me, a map is you're still looking for where you're meant to be. You're still looking to find yourself. You're looking to find something that's missing from your life. I can't read the chat, blind as a bat. But if you think about Roman people, they were very elegant and graceful, and they had gold and silver, and they were rich. Where the other goddesses were very, they wouldn't have had an awful lot. The Romans, even back then, they won't be called the word that they're called now. They would have been called kings and queens, but they stole a lot of other stories. The mythology started off with Greek mythology, so the Romans didn't like this. Side story off this altogether. So the Romans didn't like this, that the Greek were getting all the attention for their mythology. And they had all this history and all these lovely stories, and so the Romans weren't very happy. So they decided, and I should look this up. This is the worst part about doing readings online, because something comes up and I haven't actually researched it. Yes, you are a giver. Yes, you are. Yeah, exploring. You're trying to find yourself. It's a bit like empty nest syndrome. You have been this person for this length of time, this person for this length of time. Now you're moving into the next stage of your life and you're trying to find out who that person is. So the Romans weren't happy. And okay, I don't know why Pius III, Pius I, Pope Pius, it would have been around that time when the Romans and the Greeks were fighting for everything. The popes, and like the popes were allowed to marry, and they had a harem of women and consorts and all sorts, but they did. And so the popes were rich. They had many wives. They had many consorts. They had the leadership of the priests that would have been there. If you look at what's your man's name from not Call of Duty, what game used to I play? And then I can't remember the computer game. But I used to watch the program then on. There was two different, the Borgias and the Medicis. So just before them, they would have been very jealous and wanted to get all of this. Anyway, so they decided that they would take all of the Greek mythology and turn it into Roman mythology. Why it was Greek mythology first was because you had there's so many theories around this. You had the Atlantis. I have been told and shown Atlantis. There's a big, huge tattoo of a mermaid, as Luna calls it. She says it's me. On my back, she's on a big rock, and her hair is flowing, and you can see all her scales, and it's a beautiful tattoo. But anyways, you had the land of Atlantis, which was off the Greek coast. when it was a tsunami that hit, and all of that part of Greece fell down underwater and were left there, and that's where you got your mermaids, and they all Zeus and them all were down under there. So that, anyway, the Romans weren't happy about this. So they wanted their own mythologies because they had everything else in the world, and this was the only thing they didn't have. Thank God they didn't come over as far as Ireland, because then they'd have told that, well, sorry now, lads, but we have our own mythology too. And it outdates the Romans as well. So anyway, the Romans decided to make their own mythology, but based on the Greek mythology. But all worldwide mythology is pretty much generic. It's just like the Bible. I'm going to touch wood, and I'm going to sound very don't take this up wrong, but even the Bible, if you read into the Bible correctly, it's pretty much every religion is pretty much the same thing in each Bible, in everyone's Bible, in everyone's different religions. I told you, Jen Lou, I know things. I know a little bit about a little bit. And this is what I want to be doing on YouTube. I love telling stories. I love explaining where everything has come from, like even with the car bull and stuff, where it all originates and where it all started from. I love it. And I know a lot. Oh, thank you, Jen. You share too, and I love you, and you're a good girl. So back to the Greek, the Romans, yeah. So I'm not surprised she calls herself the great goddess, because she's Roman. You've got the Roman tombs and the Roman type buildings. The map is trying to find herself. So she's always traveling to try and find herself. She's very cute though. But she's looking off into the distance. She's not happy. Looking into the distance until she finds herself. Now, we have one for someone that's not here. Why are you not here? Probably because you're working. It's for Dr. B. And I'll show you. Okay, so it's Saraswati. Saraswati? Oh, Sarah. I'd say it's pronounced differently, but music is what takes her out of herself. Music and writing. And that's her gift, is music. I wish people heard her music. She's amazing at music and singing. So is her sister. She needs to realize that she's not stuck in water. Like a swan, she can leave water. She doesn't have to feel herself drowning in all sorts of problems. She can get herself out of the issues she faces. Also, water, as I said earlier on, water is an emotional feeling. It's the water cards. They're all full of emotion. Water is motion. It dips and tides and waves. So that's how her life will be. It's always going to be dipping and tiding and waving. But so long as she comes out with the other end well, she'll be okay. At times like that, she needs to sort of play her music, take up the guitar, have an old sing song, or write. Get back to writing. Do your writing. You've been saying that for a long time. Do the books, do the writing, finish them. Also, there's lotus flowers in there as well. So meditate. But then again, I think if you had your music and you had your writing, I think you would it would be like therapy and meditation for you, because it's in the quiet, it's in your mind that you would be fixing or healing. So that's Dr. B. Another beautiful card. So I think this actually should probably go on the major page. I don't know. Whatever you girls think, and if you want to share it. Because I don't actually share my readings or that. Especially when they go off track, I definitely don't share them. Because they're completely wonky. So put them back in, if I can get it into the box. Oh, it's not going in properly for me. Oh, I'll fix that after. Now, finally, we have the angel cards, which I also have 2 different decks of. So, messages for your angels. Angels are what angels do. Angels will bring you good news, good luck, good vibrations, good frequencies, because that's the realm in which they live. They live and they bring you frequencies. If you think of the last few years, our frequencies have lowered so much in the last 18 months that it needs to be brought back up again. That's why even when I start messing, because when I start messing, that's it. I'm messing. Yeah, their frequency. And I was just going to say, the whole the concert, the Travis concert last week, the Astroworld, the whole conspiracy theory behind that is that it was a frequency that he was singing at. Now, if he was singing at a weird frequency, it was going weird. It wasn't one we're used to. However, if you think of the song Hallelujah, I think that's the name of it. David sang a chord that he only sang for the Lord, and it was quite a strong chord, and that chord is God's frequency. So I don't know what frequency he was singing at, but that concert was crazy. But yeah, there are chords that cause different things. Some people said it was the chord that made the people pass out. Sorry, because he was singing really. It was really high, weirdy, pitchy weirdness. Lump of ice stuck in my throat. If you hear that, it's the radiators. I'm sorry, it's the water in the radiators. So yeah. Girls, what is that song? It's on Shrek. They would stand before the Lord. Yeah, it's Hallelujah. Anyway, but that's God's frequency. Yes, right, he would have, because when Lucifer left, well, he didn't leave. I hate when people say he left. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking it was Hallelujah, but I wasn't 100%. You know me, sometimes I get it wrong. Yeah, he didn't just leave. Oh God, I'm at an hour already. Anyway, I'm not finished. He didn't just up and leave. It was like, I'm Lucifer, lads, come with me, and we're going down, downstairs, down to the warm place, board up here with the clouds and stuff, and the harps and had enough of that. Going down, lads. Who are you coming? No, he was thrown out. God threw him out. He was God's most beautiful angel. He was removed. No. He was God's most beautiful angel. He was his right-hand man. Now, thankfully, my favourite is his right-hand man, Michael himself. But yeah, he was the favourite angel, and he was jealous. Anyway, he went down. No, he didn't, Samantha. He was put down. Now, you see, people have me saying that as well. So anyway, he went down, and because God had his frequency, the devil decided, well, Lucifer decided he wanted his own frequency. And that's where that whole conspiracy theory came out of about that concert, was that he was offering up all those people to Lucifer because it's that time of year, and you know, Halloween, between Halloween and Christmas is the worst time for Satanists. No, it's the worst time for us Satanists. I actually don't know. I actually never heard that, but it's something I'd like to look into. I will look into that. I know sometimes programs and people getting confused with Cain and Abel. And that sounds very Cain and Abel-y because the bloodlines split when Eve got pregnant. One child was actually the serpent's, which is Satan, and one child was Adam's, which was from God, because God made Adam and Eve. So that sounds quite plausible that they were twins because of Cain and Abel, Michael and Lucifer, same thing, really. Probably. I'll have a look at that because that'd be interesting for me now to look up. There was a lot of songs done with different frequencies. A lot of songs were done with the frequencies backwards, that if you played them backwards, there were actually words and everything in the music if you played it backwards. Praising Lucifer and all the other names he has. So that's quite plausible too. I do know there was the Beatles had a few songs that were played backwards. There was an awful lot of 70s music, and that brought up the whole satanic worshipping back then, and what was being done and how the people were doing it. And another story is what's his name? Do you know, I have a book that I was reading, and I want to do that as well. I'm getting so excited about it now. Nadine, my daughter, bought me for Christmas a book I was looking for, and it's all got all the movies that have satanic cult symbolisms in them. So it's like Rosemary's Baby. I can't remember your man who directed that, but his wife was killed by the Charles Manson group. The Charles Manson followers killed her. That's supposed to be in a satanic ritual because he had to, and that's why he was out of the country. He was in Paris, but they were killed. The wife and her baby were killed as sacrifices for him to become Roman Polanski. Yeah, for him to become a better and more able director. He wanted to become rich, so he will sacrifice them. Like, there's so many stories about things like that. So there's a few people starting to talk about Kabbalistic stuff, and I hope it doesn't annoy me as much as the tarot card readings are annoying me, because these are things I studied and read. And it was, and the symbolism in that, Jen, was unreal, unbloody real. And talk about in your face, it was so weird. Every different scene was so ritualistic. A very strange film, very, very strange. Unless you know what the symbolism is, I don't think you'd really take to the film. But for me, it was one weird movie. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. And we could even pull out that book that Nadine bought me, and we could go through all the movies, because it's a book this American lad wrote. He started it 2 years ago, and it was finished for Christmas last year. And it's full of all Hollywood movies and the symbolism behind it and the whole Kabbalah stuff. It's crazy. That's behind all the movies that's in this book. Yeah, I've seen it before. Don't even know how many times I've seen it before. Because geek, this is where my geeky nerd comes in. I would take notes. I would take notes on the movies. Another one was American. What was Dershowitz, or I can't remember your man's name. Was it American Beauty? The cover of it was the girl in the bath with rose petals. I think it's an American Beauty. That was so symbolic. Oh my God. And all about men that like young girls. It was just crazy. Did you notice all the symbols in that movie, Jen? Oh my God, it was, because anybody that knows symbolism and looks into these things knows that roses are the pure, and red roses or white roses are the pure roses. And she was covered in rose petals, or anytime he had thought about her. Yeah, but that's the thing. There's so many movies, Jen, that we've all watched that we've never, that it went over our heads. You know, you just thought it was a movie. But she was covered in the bath in rose petals. When he would be thinking about her at night time, he'd think about her with the red rose petals falling around her and everything. There's one scene where the next door neighbour is getting something out of his car, and he opens the car boot, and he has the light. Are you ready for the red pill? Well, here we go. Turn off the lights and we'll have an old chat. No, but I would love to red pill everybody with my stuff. I really would. But the next door neighbour, and I think it was her father, opened the boot of the car, and when he opened the car, he had a ring, and it's the 3-3 ring. When you hit the 3-3, you get this ring, which was on it's a gold ring. It looks like a signet ring, but instead of an onyx, it has a red stone. The red stone is to be symbolized as the blood of sacrifices, and that's what a lot of people have on them. There's a lot of famous people that have them on them that don't hide the fact that they wear them. A certain talk show host, she wears hers proudly. There are, who else wears his? There was a court case we were all watching and we were all addicted to, that the judge had one on him. A lot of people wear their I had a card for you earlier through Psych Ward, Dr. B. I had a card for you earlier, so you'll have to go back a bit, and because it's very good. It's actually perfect for you right now. So, yeah, the blood ring. It's to symbolize the sacrifices of little people. And it's given when you passed your... all these words. I don't want to be kicked off YouTube, and it's so hard to say these words. So, when you've hit that top rank of that, those people that, not cult, it's a religion, you're given this ring. So, but there's an awful lot of movies. Those two are mainly the two that's coming to my head right now anyway. But yeah, I will put them up, myself and Jen. We will watch them together. Yes, he was supposed to have got it from the Marines. Yes. However, if you do look into your bits and pieces about that certain group of people, they are from bottom rank right up. There's cops, there's ordinary folk, there's people that are love to pretend that they're ordinary folk, but they're really not. They're really, really high, because it's a secret society. You don't want to let people know you're there. You don't want to let people know that you go to this man's group once a month, and then at every Halloween, Christmas, Easter, Baltana, all of those different festivals that you are attending. You don't want people to know that, because it's a secret society. It's a secret. So the last two decks, finally, I'll get onto them now. These are messages. So what your angels want you to hear right now, they're messages right now for you from the angels. And I've never counted these cards, so I don't know what's in them. I don't know how many. But they're from the angelic realm, messages. These angel cards are healing. So it tells me which one to pull anyway. So if I go for an angel card and it's telling me I have the wrong deck in my hand, I'll go and get the other deck. But these are healing. If somebody needs healing and strength and power, you'll get the healing cards. Otherwise, it's messages from your loved ones, your ancestors, your parents, your whoever. I talk to spirit as well, actually. So sometimes I don't even need cards. I can be lying in my bed and just ask. But that's the difference between those two cards. So you need to know what's on the box, because it's like going into the cupboard, taking out a box of cornflakes, and you realise that there's Cocoa Pops in the inside of it. That's pretty much what you're doing. So if you're taking out your messages or your healing, that's what you're meant to be talking about. Okay? So that's the different cards for today. No, I always leave the messages out because they're the ones that usually are wanted more. That goddess book does not want to go in there. So I'll take it out. For some reason it doesn't want to go into my drawer. So that's absolutely no problem, Jen. I get on the back of whatever you want me to do, and I'll help if I can. So that's the cards. It would be more preferable. It would be more preferable to watch people who know what they're doing as opposed to people that are just having the lols. You don't want to mess with these things. Do you think? The Great Goddess. I'm the Great Pretender. 38. Jeez, this is an awful long story. That's why I don't go near this book, look. So I shall read on. Yeah, don't, because first of all, they're not giving you proper information. And if they haven't verified who they want to pull the card for, they're pulling the cards for themselves. Right. Agriculture was probably discovered and developed by women. It freed humankind from the necessities of endless nomadic wandering and meant that people could settle in one place, cultivating the soil and breeding livestock. Still looking for that place. This gave them time to devote developing more complex societies, crafts, and religious practices, presiding over the whole cycle of planting, growth, and harvest is the Great Mother Goddess, the earth itself. Seeds are sown in her earth womb. She did look kind of pregnant. That's why I was wondering, like, the Empress in the ordinary tarot, the Major Arnica, has the Empress, and you can see she's very pregnant, and usually it's a pregnant wait, a pregnant pause, or it's literally pregnancy. And she did look kind of pregnant, but I didn't want to put that out because I was afraid in case she wasn't. I didn't want to insult her. Oh, it's just about to say what I was trying to explain about. Anyway. Seeds are sown in her earth womb. She brings them to life and nurtures them into growth. She blesses women and animals with young. At death, all return to the womb of the earth, so that she might bring them to rebirth. The Great Mother presides over the changing round of the seasons, sowing, growth, harvest, birth, death, and rebirth, revolving in a never-ending cycle. During the Neolithic period, most cultures seem to have been involved in the fertility cult, which centered around the Great Goddess, humankind's earliest deity. Depicted as an abundant woman, her breasts are very large and are large enough to nurture many. An image of love and trust is as early as 13,000 BC. Our Paleolithic ancestors, the Palladians. There's still a lot of Palladians around today. It's common. They were very tall, very, very tall, and some people would have said they were giants, but you have to remember back then they would have had fairies, elves, and all sorts of things, and the Palladians. So they would have looked like giants to these small little people. Anyway, there are still a lot on Earth, Palladians. Our Paleolithic ancestors were making Venuses, such as found in Wallendorf in Austria and Lucelle in France. The predate of the famous Annabelle cave paintings at Lecaux and other sites by as many as 20,000 years ago. Every man and woman considered themselves a part of nature, a child of the Great Mother, along with the earth, heavens, animals, and plants that existed alongside them, related in a single whole. So everything was biologically the same. There was no differences between animals, children, women, men. There was no difference between them. Everyone lived on Earth as the same, even plants and flowers. That would have been before the Neanderthals even. But that's the way Earth is supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be like that, even in today's society. We need plants to grow. We're not actually meant to eat meat. We're meant to just eat plants and stuff, forage for our food. That's what they did back then. That's why there was no obesity or problems like that, because everyone lived off the land. They also had to dig and plant, so they had to do the work for it too. I think I'll read on. I'm not sure how much more you need to hear. But it's telling you about anyway, the temple complexes of Malta and Gozo are nearly 6,000 years old, and the oldest standing structures in the world, predating Stonehenge and the pyramids of Egypt by many centuries. These two small islands originally had around 40 temples and 9 remain. The buildings themselves represent the gods with their rounded shape echoing the ample curves of her body. The ritual inner chamber delineates her womb and the passageway entrance to her lydia. They were painted with red ochre to represent her lady times of months. Maybe I shouldn't have went any further. And they were carved with flowers, trees, birds, snakes, spiral shapes, and repeated on friezes, lintels, and stone blocks. Yeah, okay. So all of the different ceremonies are representing her her fullness, her womanliness, and her her bearing of fruit and oh, you're funny. So pretty much your body is your temple, Jen. Look after it. You've sown the seeds. Sowing the seeds of love. Seeds of love. No wonder Ger hasn't that on. That's why I don't go live a lot, because he tends to put on his music. He tends to be stuck in the 80s. Sorry. I hope you didn't catch that. Big lump voice went flying. I'll have to find that before it destroys my carpet. So I think that's it, ladies. Don't think there's any questions. But there's no rhyme or reason to it, Jen. It's all over the place. Like, I know you like an owl, what's it called? When the music goes from one person to another person to another person. On your phone. Not swipe or swerve. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it tends to do that. And it could be, thank you, Team Psych Ward. Yeah, he might have a bit of that too, actually. It could be 50s music, up to 80s music, back to 70s music, up to 90s, back down to the 70s, stay on the 70s for a while, then a couple of 80s. Now, I haven't said that. I know I'm giving out, but I do sing along. So I do enjoy it too. But yeah, he has it blaring when I'm going live, so it's like I won't go live today. I'll let him enjoy his music. I don't even know who that is, Sam Cooke. I'll have to look him up or her up. Yeah, I would be probably 80s everything and a bit of rock. Yeah. But I'll sing all the songs. I will look it up. I have a notebook here with so much stuff that I have to look up. I have it here. Oh yeah. Look up Antarctica. Now, I'll give you a lowdown on this. There are continents, apparently, on Earth that we haven't discovered yet. Actually, that sounds familiar. I don't know why I have that. That sounds familiar, that there's colonies and things that we haven't found yet. I don't know if that was an actual thing that was said to me or whether I heard it myself. But anyway, yeah, I was on a group last night that to look up stuff, and it was Antarctica. So when you pass the polar ice capades, I don't know, ice, whatever it is, when you get past that, there's actually 4 different continents on the other side of Antarctica. And until yesterday, I didn't know about this. Although now that I'm after saying that there's 4 that we haven't heard of before, it does kind of, the ice caps, thank you. Oh, so I didn't get to sell them to Michael Jackson. I thought Michael Jackson bought nearly everybody's everything. Yeah, but that's what I do too, and especially when I used to drive. I can't drive anymore. Well, I can, but I feel like I would be dangerous. I don't feel safe driving. I don't even feel safe in the passenger seat. And I'm not even doing anything but singing along to music and songs in the car. There's nothing like it. And the Turpin sisters, I want to revisit that again because that was interesting to me last night, and I had forgotten about it also because of the other cases that came up. I kind of stopped looking at past cases, so I want to look at that again. But I definitely want to look up the Antarctica, and see what that's about. 4 continents past the ice caps. Imagine that nobody ever found. Like, is there people on them? Is there civilization? Have to know. Nosy old me has to know. So they're the 2 things I wrote down last night. Was I supposed to write down something again? What the hiccups? Oh, jeez, my shoulder. What did I say I was going to look up? Sam Cooke. Thank you, Jen. Yeah. And you know, I'll probably turn him on and I'll realise I know all of his music. That's like my mind too. Steel trap. Doesn't get trapped though. It definitely falls on down through. So yeah, I will look up that through Team Psych Ward. I shall. What else did I want to discuss? Lots of things, but I've had an enjoyable life right now. I don't want to bring in stuff and start talking about stuff that will just mire the heart and soul out of me. There's so much that needs to be talked about, but not today. I've enjoyed this live, except for all the pings, because I keep forgetting to turn down the notifications. So every time they come in from YouTube, Facebook, Messenger, anything, it tings at me. Love you too. I went to even. I don't know where to find it, love. Oh, would you go away with your tinglings? I don't know if they're cupcakes or love, but I'm going to send them anyway. I think it's love. From a chicken. So I shall come back soon and chat to you all. The princess is back today. She's not back at the house yet, but she will be back soon. So that'll be a busy few weeks, keeping me on my toes and telling me made up stories. That's all she does. She makes up stories all the time. Some people might call them a fib or a lie. I call them her made up stories. She's a great imagination. So I look forward to her coming back. Going tomorrow for a brain scan. Kind of nervous. Because I know there's something going on. I just don't know what. I don't think it's too bad, whatever it is. But there's definitely something going on, and the vasculitis may have just gotten a little bit worse or spread. So I have to sort myself out for that, mentally and physically. Thank you, Jen. I don't think so either. Oh, she's so much. She is. You know when people bring extra? Well, she brings a lot of extra. A lot of extra. Thank you, Team Psych Ward. Yeah. I've never had a brain scan before. So I don't even know what I'm letting myself in for. I don't even know. I don't know if it's like an MRI or like a CT. I haven't a clue. So anyway, my darlings, I shall talk to you all soon. I have to have my dinner soon, and I don't even want to say goodbye, because that means my head's going to start talking to me. But I have to end the stream at some stage. So I'll go now, and thank you for listening and watching and posting if you have. I love all of you too. All of you. Yeah, we have become a very close team. Very, very close little circle of friends. Yeah. And it's good to see, because long may it last. And I think it will last, because we've grown more like family than family sometimes. But I think what brings us so close together is we don't look at this as a business. We don't look at this as money to be earned, grifting to be done. We all of us look at this as a friendship and getting information out to other people and to each other. Really, we've never really had a hierarchy. Okay, we know who the hierarchy is, but we never really have a hierarchy. We all bring our own thing to the table, and I think that's what's special about us as a group and as a team. I couldn't see myself on any other girls' teams. Like, this was perfect team for me. I've learned as well, and we do respect each other. Yeah. And even when I come out with my mad conspiracies, I know some of you might be just having a giggle, because sometimes I do too. But you never, Sam, get back under the rock that you came from, you mad lunatic. You've never made me feel way out there, even though I am sometimes. Maybe that's where Luna gets her muchness from. Yeah, we're a good team. And first thing in the morning, last thing at night, I'm checking the messages, seeing how everyone is, what I missed the night before. I get messaged from Jen, don't look at this, don't look at that, because I'll get is it hereditary? Oh, well, I will say my daughters are pretty much as well. They bring extra. I'm extra. They're extra. But Luna is in a whole new realm of her own extra. What's your name? Una. What are you? A lunicorn. She can say lunicorn, but she can't say her name Luna. Child, it's the same thing, only not the corn. You're a Luna. My name is Una. I'm a lunicorn. Oh, she's convinced she's a lunicorn. Convinced of it. Like, I have my duvet. Actually, I was just thinking this morning, I need a new duvet set. But I can't give up the one I have. It literally gets washed into the dryer, back on the bed, because it's a big Christmas snow forest with a huge white unicorn on it, and it's my favoriteest ever duvet set ever. And there's even little Christmas baubles on the Christmas trees. It's a Christmas unicorn duvet cover. She's beautiful. She is beautiful, Jen. Why is this not letting me? I want to get out of that. Oh. I will. I was supposed to try and get her to sing for me last week, but do you think she'd sing? Oh, she wouldn't. She's brazened. She's really not. She's brazened. She'll come in the door and she's slam in the door. For a 3-year-old, sometimes she's such a tomboy, but she'll slam in the door. Hey, Nanny, I'm home. Little Italian with the biggest bogger accent you ever will hear in your lifetime. Hey, Nanny, I'm home. So I'll say, yeah, I hear you, Luna. You coming in to me? I will. So she'll go into the kitchen first. Her daddy will give her chocolate because daddy will be bringing her home, like, and she'll come in and oh, I love you, Nanny Bella, because she knows. Well, she thinks that annoys me, and I love you, Nanny Bella. Oh, I want to go for walks with you, Nanny Bella. You're so pretty, Bella. I love you. And I'll say, okay, so where's Auntie Amanda? She's at home with my mommy. You little witch. Yeah, she's at home with my mommy. Like, why are you asking me where Amanda is? She's at home. Oh, yes, she does. And she does that in every house. My house, she goes up to her granddad's house. He'll make her, his wife will make her something to eat and everything. And she got down off the table and was it the first week of the last time she was home. She comes here for about 3 or 4 weeks, or about 3 weeks every month. And she went out to the stairs, and she started going up the stairs. And Grandpa said to her, where are you going? I'm going to have a bath now. Like, yeah, I'm going to have a bath. Like, why are you asking me this? This is what I do. I have a bath after my dinner. So, yeah, she goes up and has baths in Granddad's. She has baths in Auntie Anda's. Oh, last week, I'm telling all the stories on her. Anyway, last week, Andrea bought them, Adam and Andrea, 2 Lush bath bombs. And Luna's was supposed to turn pink. But she lost it, right? She lost it. Couldn't find it. They looked high and low in Andrea's house. Could not find Luna's bath bomb. So Luna was very sad, very, very sad about this. And I want a bath, and I want a bath with bath bomb. I want a pink bath. It has to be pink. So anyway, Adam is a dote. He's such a good child. He's so good. Andrea said, Adam, do you mind? No, Adam is 9. Oh, she is very fancy. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. She has her own Minnie Mouse bag of makeup, like Disney lip balms, and she is beyond, right? But this is funny. Right. So Andrea said, look, Adam, we can't find lip and bath bomb. What are we going to do? And Adam said, no, I don't know. There's only mine. And Andrea said, do you mind giving her half of it? And ask me to remind her. Anyway, he said, no, we'll cut it in half and we'll let her have half because it's not fair that I have one and she doesn't. Well, it is his house. He's dead right. He's a clever child. But they halved the bath bomb and she had her bath. She was raging that the bath bomb was blue and she wanted a pink bath. But anyway, she got out of the bath, dried into her new jammies, and they were supposed to start watching a movie. And she went into the kitchen, and Andrea, Adam has a piano upstairs, and she plays the piano upstairs, but she finds she's not allowed up the stairs on her own. So Andrea and Sean, for her birthday, Sean is Andrea's partner, Adam's daddy, and for her birthday, they bought her a little pink piano that she can leave down in the kitchen and play it in the kitchen, and she doesn't have to go up the stairs. So she goes into the kitchen and she says, Anda, come on. So Anda went in after her anyway, and she picked up it's like a big grand piano. It's only a child's toy grand piano, but she lifts up the lid of the grand piano and she says, I hated it on you. I had my bath bomb all the time. She really, really praised it. And Andrew was like, that's not fair on Adam, Luna. Yeah, but I needed my own bath bomb for my own house. So she's very clever. Very, very clever. Yeah, Adam is very sweet. He's a good child. He's very good. Yeah. And adorable. He's so adorable. He's just the kindest boy at school and everything. He's just a good child. But Luna is something else. Yeah, hit the bath bomb. So she didn't have to use hers. She got to use Adam's. And she'll be saying to me, I better go after this story. And she says to me, is this mine, Nanny? No, Luna, you know that's mine. Okay, it's mine now. And it could be anything. She's all my dolls. I had dolls boxed and everything that I wouldn't even let my girls open and play with. That all she has to do is, oh, please, Nanny. And those big brown eyes and that sallow skin and those lovely little curls. There you go, you can have it. But I give it to her. I give it to her anyway. Because she's my baby. Even though she calls me Bella. But she thinks it annoys me, but it doesn't. I find it funny. Yeah, girls are shocking, aren't they? But Luna actually says Adam and his friend Byron, they're my boys. Can I go up and see my boys today? And she will bully them around. And if each of them have a football, they won't have a football. She'll have all three. I can't remember what I was going to say. See, the memory is really, really flipped out on me. And the more tired I get, the worse my memory gets. I love that he wrote on the front door. He's gas. He's gas, child. So funny. Oh no. So I'm definitely going now because I do have to eat something before my blood sugars start going down and I start falling off the chair. So I'll see everyone in chat, and thanks for watching me and thanks for keeping me company. I had a great time. A brilliant time. Love you girls, all my heart. Bye bye.